All right, hello everybody. Welcome back to some more round of 16 action in the Osumania 4Key World Cup 2021. We're going to be seeing two matches in this block with us two as commentators, myself being Toph Daddy, and I am joined by Halogen. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing well, and this is exciting. We're going to get to see, right as we see here, Philippines versus Canada. This is going to be an intense match, for sure.
Yeah, number 9 seed versus the number 8 seed. Very close in terms of the seeding, as we saw. And I think both of these teams have very clear advantages when it comes to certain types of charts. Canada historically being relatively weak on long notes, though that has been amended pretty significantly this year. But still, I think when you're up against a team like Philippines, I think LNs are still going to be like the more uncomfortable area to be if you're Canada.
Another thing about Canada, too, is compared to previous years, this roster is really well rounded up. With the addition of Dale and stability, they've got just this really full coverage, both on the physical side, but just for just about everything that they touch. And I'm really excited to see if Canada actually continues their forward push in the tournament here. And the Philippines, very seasoned team. Lots of players who have been in the tournament circuit one way or another, and they're going to be here for a fight.
Yeah, I think Philippines is a generally very well-rounded team as well, but I think they are potentially heavier focused on powerhouses in specific areas, where you have someone like Els who's like a powerhouse in long notes as a specific area, and you have Swarmzy who's pretty much one of the best, rice-sided players in the entire tournament. So you have that kind of like double dynamic of Canada sort of trying to push their well-roundedness as like specific team members, and Philippines sort of having that the opposite end of that, where they're just trying to push their skill sets as high as they can go.
We see the results of roles. They're not entirely sure. I'm assuming Canada lost the role in this case, and they're banning Lawn Wake 9.
That's an interesting ban. I think they might just be uncomfortable with the OD 9.1, which is, but I think that's mostly fine, or they're just giving a lot of respect to the players like Swarmzy on the Philippines team who are going to be able to crush stuff like that.
Yeah, the OD 9.1 definitely going to be in play for those who aren't extremely competent and comfortable with their rice. Lawn Wake really pushes you. Even if you're a strong rice player, getting all of those notes within the tightness of OD 9.1 is an extremely non-trivial task.
Yeah, it sort of makes that whole idea of getting good accuracy on Lawn Wake, there's a certain bridge you have to cross to be able to FC something like Lawn Wake 9. And then for other charts, being able to get good accuracy on them is like a little bit forward. You just have to push that. But with something like Lawn Wake 9 with the tricky patterning, and then on top of the OD 9.1, that bridge is just like a mile away. So that difference is going to be a lot starker for a map like that.
That it is. We see Philippines opening up with a hybrid Shaku Shane. Interesting.
That's actually, I think that's a really interesting thing. I think they're going to be focusing on the long notes and hybrids for the most part this match. But starting off with something like Shaku Shane, where it's going to be important to keep consistency, which we've seen Philippines a little bit lacking over the years. I think that's one of their biggest weaknesses, being able to keep combo consistently on these kinds of charts, even if they are at round of 16 level, which the Philippines is more than capable of handling.
Yeah, not putting aside the enhanced difficulty of the pools here, but Shaku Shane, as far as the pool goes, I would say is probably one of the least physically demanding picks, but it's intrusive enough to be relatively difficult to score on if you're not on your toes. There's a lot that happens in this map between the bursts, some long notes that kind of weave in and out of your patterns, and then we have it's a slightly reduced OD, but something that I've noticed from playing this map is the song itself kind of lends itself to feeling a little drifty on act, even though it's not. So the OD 7.4 thankfully helps with that, but not as much as you would think.
Yeah, the vocals can definitely be a little bit intrusive when you're trying to get good accuracy on this, because the attack of the sounds tends to shift a little bit off of the beats that the actual notes are representing. So it can be a little bit tough to keep the accuracy, but I think consistency is going to be really important for this one.
Yeah, with these two teams who are as close as they are, I mean, even 200s, depending on the outcome of how the song just progresses, even 200s could end up being fatal later down the line. And we see Piggy, Dale, Stability for Canada, Silhaleska L, Swarmzy, and Mystery L for the Philippines, opening out this particular match.
Yeah, Canada, not too surprising to see that lineup. Dale and Stability, like you said earlier, kind of that grounding for the well-roundedness of Canada, that, you know, the newfounded well-roundedness of Canada. And Mystery L, I'm not sure if they were on the team last year, but they're definitely a solid improvement in terms of the long notes and hybrid abilities. Silhaleska Elza obviously going to be in for something like this, and Swarmzy, I think, just, you know, the long note difficulty isn't so heavy that he's incapable of pushing for it right now.
A quarter of the way through, the Philippines with a very slight edge, but these accuracies are just neck and neck. Very slight advantage for Philippines there, as we see Dale slipping right around the 99.7 threshold, whereas everybody in the Philippines is at least 99.8 or around that area.
Oh, and a miss from Dale is not going to help the disadvantage that Canada was at. Like I said, looks like the consistency is actually starting to hit Canada instead of Philippines. 3 full combos still holding strong for the Philippines. And we're getting into a more LN heavy section in just a little bit, which should favor the Philippines overall.
At this point, Canada's job is going to obviously, of course, make sure that Dale gets back to the combo cap, but also ensuring that they keep their 200 count low, as even though those long notes aren't super difficult, there is a certain level of intrusion with them that can cause you to drop just a little bit of accuracy.
Oh, but as you say that, Piggy does find a miss as well. Mystery L trading that back, though. Still a 1 miss advantage in the side of Philippines, and the accuracy from Swarmzy doing a very good job of keeping that advantage that Stability would otherwise be giving Canada.
Despite having the miss, Mystery L at a 99.8, superb accuracy, and returning back to the combo cap here. So Philippines are definitely going to take advantage of this, having 2 full combos on the board.
Yeah, very clean. And all players are back up to that 400 combo cap, so the score shouldn't be changing other than from the accuracy difference, which is in the favor of Philippines, which means that lead is just going to start increasing from here on out. There are a couple of tricky patterns in this ending, though. I find myself having issue with one specific one that's about 100 notes away from the end. I'm curious to see what happens with it.
I know exactly what pattern you're talking about. It is so uncomfortable. It's right around, they just passed, I think.
Mine is like right at the end of this chorus.
Oh, okay.
That pattern right there. No one finds any issues, but so it looks like Philippines is going to make that a good first pick for them. No issues on their side, and, you know, going off to Canada for their first pick, 1-0 in favor of Philippines.
And a good start. Canada should have no reason to really be phased there.
Wow.
Wasn't their pick. Wow. 2-1 on Canada. 1-4, not the cleanest of 4s, and then 10 from Dale. Both sides just really good scores all about. Even with the misses, these accuracies are very good.
Yeah, getting a 983 with 1 miss is Dale's score is very strong just based on that. But it's going to be hard to take that and run when the lowest player on Philippines had a 989K.
And a 989 with a miss on top of it all. That's even more impressive.
So that is going to be Philippines' first pick. Canada's moving forward. I could potentially see an SV pick coming up, but I think given Canada's general play style, they're going to want to go for Rice first, which they do. They're going for the consistency-based Rice pick. I think I said earlier about Philippines kind of shaky past when it comes to consistency. So I think Canada might just be trying to attack that side of the Philippines team.
And I think that's a really good angle to take here. Dale, of course, staying, and we've seen that Dale's entry into Canada has definitely helped on the consistency front there. We're going to see Lofus coming in. Not too much of a surprise there, as Piggy and Lofus, both very strong Rice players. No changes on the Philippines side, though.
It looks like Swarmzy's a little confused right now. Not sure if he's going to be staying in. Potentially switching out for someone who would be more comfortable with the straightforward picks, but Swarmzy not being comfortable with something like this would be a bit of a surprise.
It might be more of a question of maybe ratio, perhaps. Maybe there's concerns about keeping the counts low enough. Swarmzy also asking if it's a hybrid. That's not good.
Not the best sign, but luckily for a map like this, for Swarmzy, I should say, this is not the hardest map to sight read in the pool. Not by a long shot.
Oh, absolutely. Once you get a general feel for how the map is and you get a general feel for it very quickly, you can just tunnel into that feel for a good majority of it.
Yeah, there are a couple breaks that you will tend to break your concentration, but I think the biggest difficulty of the chart is just the density, and someone like Swarmzy's not going to have issues with that.
Yeah, from a physical front, this is going to be trivial for Swarmzy, Piggy, and Lofus for sure. And probably Elze as well. Mystery L and Dale are probably going to be fine, but it's going to be a matter of keeping the accuracy not good, but pristine. These two teams are so close that they need to just give it everything.
Yeah, Swarmzy, Piggy, and Lofus should be around the same accuracy as each other. Silhouesca might be a little bit below that, potentially. But I think the interesting portion is going to be Mystery L versus Dale. And Mystery L from the last map we saw had very strong accuracy. So he could really be the push that Philippines needs to, maintain a lead, even on the Rice portion of this pool.
And not necessarily a major component of the map here, but we can get a sense of the general ratio. There's Swarmzy with a 99.99 as we open up.
Yeah, and here we go with the lighter bit of jump stream. It'll be important to watch when the chorus hits, but this is going to start giving us an even better idea of where the accuracy lies. And looking at that score bar, not much of an advantage for either team. It is looking like Elze is the lowest on Philippines, Lofus being the lowest on Canada, which is actually a bit of a surprise given how Lofus was performing last week, having very high 99.9s on that map pool.
Yeah, let's get this straight right now. This particular pick, normally when we're talking about tournament maps, we're saying, oh yeah, some 200s could be an issue here. This is a map where just 300 counts could be potentially fatal.
Yeah, and just based on this, it looks like Swarmzy is the one making the difference in accuracy right now. I think Philippines actually does have a slight accuracy advantage just off of that 99.98.
I think they're both missing 21 to 22 accuracy points. This is super, super close. I mean, this is a dead heat as far as I can see here.
Yeah, you got Lofus matching up to Elze. Oh, I just said her name. I said her name and she missed.
Elze with the drop there, going to have to quickly recover the combo cap. Canada holding very, very solid. 3 full combos, all pristine accuracy. Lofus, the lowest at 0.83, but still holding solid. Swarmzy still holding a 99.97 at the break.
Yeah, 99.97 and 99.91. Very strong, but it's going to be a matter of Silvesca Elze being able to keep that combo cap up now that she has made it back. And potentially hoping for a miss from Canada, because unless there's big accuracy drops, I think a combo break is necessary now.
I would tend to agree for sure. We get a little bit of a density increase after this break, so there is some more opportunity as long as, composure is broken.
This ending chorus is a bit longer than the first one, so that density is going to have to be kept up for a long time. Losing focus is very easy in this ending.
We kick off the last quarter of the map with Canada having under a 10,000 point advantage, some breathing room on account of a combo break, but not a lot. You cannot get completely caught off guard here.
Yeah, coming in the last quarter, we've got about 600 combo left, so a miss right about now would still give a huge amount of score away to the opposing team.
But as we say that, no players really finding much of anything. All the scores holding basically as solid as they can be. No one even tapering downward. Lofus taking a 0.01 hit briefly before coming back up.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Philippines, this probably would have been a point for them because Elze's accuracy is ahead of Lofus's with a miss. That miss is making the entire difference between these two teams' scores.
Winding down the map here, Canada taking the point with a team score of 2.987, and that is 3 200s across Canada's team. Only one for Philippines, but Silvesca Elze with the miss. And the ratio is Swarmzy with 100. Forget what the hell I was talking about. That ratio is great.
Yeah, I think the conversation about Swarmzy was just because he didn't know it was jump stream. Once he saw it was jump stream, he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm in for this. I got this."
We going. And again, just like the previous song, Silvesca Elze, Shake It Off was not your pick, and we move forward. It is a best of 9 now instead of 11. Let's go. Let's go.
1-1 back to Philippines pick. I could see another hybrid, or they went with Capcel. Capcel coming out. kind of what is meant to be like the mixed LN pick, like the techie LN pick, which I think I could agree with that title as far as in the map pool, but this map is hard. It's really hard compared to the other two. It's hard to keep accuracy. It's very easy to drop 200s. You have to be very focused.
Yeah, combo is not a difficulty for this map, but you can throw 200s absolutely everywhere because there's disjointed releases, some pretty difficult flams. If you're not on your toes, it's just accuracy drops so quickly.
Yeah, and those LN bursts in that middle section are accuracy killers. Another pick I think that does favor Philippines. I mean, they're making good picks as of right now. It's going to be really interesting if this match goes like the distance. You know, what these two teams are going to be going for later on. I think I mentioned this earlier in the match, but Canada, I think, has a pretty good advantage when it comes to SVs, at least between these two teams. So I could see them going for Gimme the Blood later on in the match if they find themselves drawn into a corner. But Philippines is going to be in a bit of an interesting position once the main long note picks. And I think there's one, I mean, we've got Etude and Discordia left in the hybrid. So maybe they're just going to be, you know, slamming on those and hoping that that's enough to push Canada off their feet.
Yeah, once the map pool gets depleted, it's the track's going to definitely be interesting. And as we get started with song number 3 out of a possible 11 here, number of changes here. We see Nunotaba Shinobu coming in for Canada, Sorelia coming in for the Philippines.
Makes sense. Probably don't want Stormzy in on a more release-oriented LN pick. So fair swap on both sides. Nunotaba had a very strong Toda Streep score last round. So I'm not surprised to see them taking Lofus's spot in this.
Yeah, agreed. They're the other part of that. I guess we can call quote-unquote anti-meta squad, even though long notes are starting to be very much identifiable within the meta. But anti-Rice team here. Canada off to a solid start there with accuracy, but Nunotaba finding a little bit of a drop.
Yeah, we're starting to get into the more difficult sections to get good accuracy on those. Silueska Elza is staying around the same accuracy as Nunotaba, so the overall lead for either team is not going to be significant right now. But it does look like it's actually in favor of Canada.
Stability with a 99.90! What?
Holding down the fort for Canada right now, highest in the lobby. And so we've got Stability ahead of Sorelia, Piggy matching Mystery L, and L's being just above Nunotaba. This is pretty much evenly matched right now.
Yeah, the score just keeps flickering back and forth, red to blue here. We're getting to some more difficult timing. Some of these releases can be really obnoxious to deal with.
Yeah, arguably the hardest part to time. Stability finding some accuracy drops, but Philippines is staying very consistent. They have now taken that accuracy lead off of this middle section.
And a little bit of a breather as we get to the last fourth of the song there. Less than 10,000 points. Actually, this is even smaller than that. I think it's only about 6,000.
Yeah, it's very close in any case. I think Stability is the one hope for Canada right now. Accuracy drops are going to be very important. This ending is pretty similar to the beginning, so Canada should be able to get a bit of an advantage from this section, but I don't know if that's going to be enough.
Mystery taking a little bit of a dip there. Meanwhile, Silueska Elze taking a really, really good increase, and this is coming down to the line here, but Philippines is looking to take this. Wow. 3,200 points. And wow, the issues with Elze. The issues with Elze were just 300s. They were not 200s at all.
Yeah, Stability still taking the highest score in this lobby with a 994. 2 200s though, almost giving Els that MVP slot, but still Philippines getting that victory off of the accuracy drops in that middle section. Like I said, difficult bursts, difficult flams, hard to keep constant releases going.
That 10-1 by Stability is incredible. Wow. This is a really hard map to get good ratio on, and seeing 10-1 on that is just, it's really impressive.
Oh, Canada going for the SVs early. I expected this to be saved for later, but I think they're feeling confident enough to just get it out right now. They want that point.
It's so interesting seeing Canada taking the helm with SVs, and again, you know, reiterating that number 3 seed on the SV pick coming into play here, and this is a pretty tricky map.
Yeah, I think what the thing about the SVs from this round is that the SV picks are very hard to act. They're so hard to get good accuracy on. There's like 10 or 15 places in each of them where even if you know the charts like the back of your hand, 200s can get dropped because of a misread. This is going to be a really interesting map to see.
We see Dale make a return for Canada. Kura appearing for the first time this match for the Philippines.
Yeah. Kura coming in for the first time means that they probably put a lot of practice into this, is what I expect. They were pretty much assigned to the SV pick out of the gate.
Yeah, dedicated role, and that's good when you can dedicate all of your time to SVs, knowing that that's your responsibility.
Yeah, I think from previous years, Kura was known as a very heavy late game player as far as like long notes and the Rice portion went. But for early game, I don't know if their accuracy is there, so they can focus that attention on the SVs when it's necessary.
And here we go, song number 4 out of a possible 11. Canada looking to even the playfield.
Not the strongest start from L is finding, I think, a 200 in one of those patterns early on, giving Canada the accuracy lead going into this first KI section. Mystery L at 99.97 right now. Stability.
Yeah, Stability having some timing issues. I think there might have been some trouble on the releases on the first iteration of them. Catching up now, but at the moment, Philippines taking a lead as a result of that.
Yeah, quite a big one, too. This is one of the bigger leads we've seen in this match. We've got Kura and Mystery L both above that 99.7, and L's right behind, edging up to that 99.7 range. The only one above it right now on Canada's side is Piggy at the 99.87, but they're going to need Stability and Dale to come back with their accuracy if they're going to want to bring that lead back.
As we transition into the second half, I personally find this second half to be a pain.
Yes, I agree. Definitely harder than the first half to get down because of some of the weird visual gimmicks that it decided to go with for some of their patterns. Some unexpected slowdowns that just will cause...
Ooh! Oh! That drop, that was the worst possible chop there. Now you gotta get through the entirety. Kura finding a drop as well.
That's such an unfortunate set of drops, and you know, like we said, Canada's been really pushing their luck on SVs. They've been practicing it. I don't see them missing in this second half. I could see accuracy drops, but on a team like Canada, misses are probably not going to happen.
I definitely feel inclined to agree here. And Canada showing the work that they've been putting on SVs. This is, again, a non-trivially difficult SV pick, and they're making it look pretty easy as a unit.
Yeah, and that lead is stretching to about 30,000 now, just off of those two misses. With how few notes, I guess that's not so surprising, but massive lead for Canada, giving them their second point. 2-2, no break points thus far.
Piggy, hello.
96.
We see you.
Wow.
Piggy.
Not to mention Stability 109, just having that 100 in an unfortunate spot, keeping him from that clean FC.
Mystery, we see you too.
Oh,
hello.
The ratios are insane on this.
Yeah, these are some whack scores. Oh my god.
But yeah, misses causing the downfall of Philippines on this pick. 40,000 points of difference, but the Philippines are going to have their pick now, and they can hopefully try to get that momentum back.
I love what I saw in the chat. We can't call the Mystery L by their name. We need to say the Mystery Dub. Let's go.
Mystery W. Let's go. Paintings, oh yeah, not a surprising pick. Especially after that nice Cav Cell win in the previous pick. I think Philippines is going to be safely going for the rest of the long notes from now. What's interesting actually about this is that I think Sakura Mirage is going to be an interesting point of contention between these two teams, because releases should be in Philippines' favor, but the more dense LNs is going to be a little bit closer, because Canada's very strong when it comes to the more dense and less release-oriented LNs.
Yeah, we're gonna be entering some dicey territory very soon. for the Philippines. They're going to really have to start pushing on the rice and just the general less comfortable parts of the long note game with respect to playing against their opponents.
Yeah, I think this is definitely the last, like, extremely safe pick for the Philippines. It's the last one that is going to be like, okay, if we play like we normally do, we should take the point, right? So it's one of those things where you're just going to need to, keep your mind blank, make sure you win this, because if Philippines loses this pick specifically, they're going to be in a bad position starting from now on.
Yeah, their road to victory will get tremendously more treacherous.
Yeah, I say if Philippines does lose this, I think they might end up just carrying that loss to the end of the match. This is an important point for them. And here we go, starting off on paintings. Oh yeah, shoutouts to the French tournament from 5 years ago and Soft 2.
I still can't even believe that this is in the round of 16 at a higher OD than in Soft 2 when it was in semis.
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of situations like that with, I think in Speed of Light 2 with another one of Juan's charts, Shotgun Senorita, on a higher OD being used in round of 16, which, like, we're seeing such a huge improvement in the abilities of the general player base on release-based long note charts. That's just what we're seeing.
Hitting the first chorus, their stability with a 99.96. Celestia Elze also doing a really solid job above the 99.9 threshold as well. Both teams just fighting back and forth in terms of ratio, and as you can see, the score is just flickering back and forth.
Yeah, Sorelia was having a bit of an issue, was the lowest by about 0.1%, but Piggy has now joined Sorelia at that zone, so the scores are going to be very close now. A third of the way. Oh, well, we're reading each other's minds.
Third of the way in, and it's nothing.
This from Piggy is going to be a big damper on that score from Canada.
Celestia Elze finding a very slight control issue. They're dropping a 200, but managed to recompose quickly. The lead is going to grow for Philippines on account of Piggy's miss as Piggy tries to return to that combo cap.
Yeah, but still, stability with a 99.93 halfway through the chart. That is ridiculous. Piggy with another miss, though, is not going to help anything. They're going to have to keep combo and hope for some misses. This can be pretty tricky to keep combo, and especially this section with the flams. But they're going to need a couple misses from Philippines, especially given that they have the accuracy advantage.
This is such a coordination-intense pick, and there we see Mystery L finding a drop. It is mentally exhausting to stay focused for the entirety of this pick. Thankfully,
that's a second miss from a different person. That's going to be more significant than Piggy's 2.
And we're going to see that red bar shrink and potentially go back in the direction of Canada, but I don't know if it's going to completely flip. We'll have to see here.
We've got 200 combo left for Sorelia, and the next miss from Philippines. That's giving a huge advantage to Canada. 2 full combos still to 0. And on top of that, with stability's 99.91% accuracy, that might just carry them to the end of this.
Sorelia finding another drop. This ending has some difficult patterning, but there's not a lot of notes left.
There's gonna need this lead was bigger than when after Piggy's second miss. It's gonna take a lot for Philippines to bring this back.
Yeah, the song is basically over. They don't have enough time, and Canada is going to take probably the most important breakpoint of the match.
This is going to be a huge morale booster for Canada right here. This is where the momentum starts, especially on a release release and coordination oriented LN pick. That is a huge win for Canada.
Stability, what the hell?
Yeah, 996.8. That's not legal. I'm sorry. I have to say that. I don't know about that one, Chief.
Oh my god. What is that? All right. Philippines now in a little bit more of a precarious situation here. Still a route to potentially get 5 points, but a much tougher one now.
Yeah, they're going to need to get at least one break point to at least get them to the full point where they can get a tiebreaker. But you know, there are 4 rice picks left. Canada needs 3 points for that victory. They're looking pretty strong. If Canada can win their own points, they have this victory. But Philippines' accuracy was showing to be very strong on Robotic Girl. Robotic Girl was lost because of a miss from Siloeska.
And Canada turning the dial up to 11 here with Die Winnipeg. We're almost certainly going to see Swarmzy come back on the Philippines, and I imagine Mystery's going to stay, but who's going to be their last player?
I am actually curious about that too. Maybe Kura would come back in for this. I could definitely see that being the case. Kura and Swarmzy being the last 2.
So it looks like
J1002 might be that 3rd player. They just have to switch with Lopez here. I haven't seen a whole lot from Jay this tournament, so I'm curious to see how this goes.
Yeah, not sure how this is going to go. And in my opinion, this is another thing I want to say too. We've talked about how strong of a roster Canada has in terms of well-roundedness, but in terms of, you know, physicality, this is a more physical pick. So eyes on Dale here, as Dale has been such a really strong, well-rounded player for just about everything that they've been touching. This is where they're going to have to push it a little bit. On the Philippines side, Swarmzy, the Mystery L, and J1002 coming in for Winnipeg, and this is going to be an extremely rough fight for both teams here. All you can hope with regards to this match dynamic is that the Philippines responds back with a breakpoint of their own, and that is an extremely tall order. And we get the MP start signal. We're going to be getting underway here with Die Winnipeg. Song number 6 out of a possible 11. Canada taking a break point. Philippines hoping to respond back with a break point of their own to even things up once more.
Yeah, another pretty important point in this match. This is, in my personal opinion, the 2nd most physically demanding pick in the pool. The most demanding probably being Brain Fog. But this is going to be a showing of the top capabilities of these 2 teams. 225 BPM is nothing to scoff at.
Yeah, and when you're going for ratio, keep in mind, this is OD 8.5 on top of it, so you've got to exert if you want that accuracy.
Yeah, Jay coming out, keeping that combo, being the lowest accuracy right now, but keeping it in a point where Swarmzy and Mystery L are able to help keep the score within striking range of Canada.
We're going to get the pace reset in just a moment here. These little intermittent breaks, and once we get through this section, it's going to start moving pretty forcefully with not a lot of break.
Here we go, Hamstream starting right about now, and I think there's pretty much one break after this, like in between this and the final Hamstream section, and then you don't get any more.
Yeah, this is just going to be a sprint to the finish, and one that lasts for quite a while.
Yeah, Swarmzy having a 0.06% lead on Piggy, and Mystery L being slightly ahead of Lopez. Jay coming back a little bit, being just behind Dale, but close enough that Swarmzy's accuracy advantage is giving Philippines the score lead right now.
We're down to the last 4th here. Philippines trying to hang on to this and potentially take a breakpoint of their own. They're running out of Canada's running out of time to take this back.
This lead's getting small though. Though Jay's accuracy is not changing, Dale's is down and now tied with him. Swarmzy might be able to take this home for the Philippines coming into the last couple hundred notes.
Not too much left, only about 50,000 points left to get from every player, and they're about to finish it off here. Philippines responding with the breakpoint of their own.
Indeed, back to 3-3, a long note win for Canada and a rice win for Philippines. 51. Oh my god. There's one 200 in this whole lobby. 200 in the whole lobby.
5 V1 double S's on Winnipeg. And probably one of the most high-pressure situations you can imagine in this match so far.
Yeah, and extremely strong ratios from everyone, too. 231 being the worst on an OD 8.5 map? That's insane.
Oh my god. And the walls are closing in for both teams. We have nullified every song pick so far, and we're down to a best of 5.
We are indeed. We need 3 wins for either team, but this is looking closer and closer to being a tiebreaker match. But every comfortable pick, I think, is gone. I don't think there's a single comfortable pick left in this pool.
Yeah, it's definitely. I think brain fog is probably, in my opinion, but then that's me, the most comfortable pick remaining.
I mean, I don't know about it.
That's why I said for me, because I'm dumb when it comes to rice.
Yeah. I mean, I think Canada's going to probably try to stay with the rice because the last three are a bit more choke heavy and probably going to be more of where Canada's going to want to attack Philippines. But with the Philippines here, they have E2, Discordia, and Sakura Mirage being their, non-rice counterparts available to them. E2's really awkward. It can cause 200s in a lot of weird places. You can choke the release section really easily. Discordia is just hard. Like,
yeah, Discordia is absolutely brutal.
I think it's fair to say Discordia is the hardest pick in the pool. Like, almost undoubtedly.
And we're seeing Etude by the Philippines, and this pick is just scary. It doesn't matter what team you are, what you're good at, there is reason to be scared at some point in this map.
Yeah, this tests about everything you can think of. There's some weird bursts. That burst section in the middle is a lot harder than it looks.
Yeah, we've seen teams miss time and time again on the density increase once the LN section has finished and we hit that rice. Right in between the first and second phrase of that section is a really big density increase, and the patterns get so incredibly tight, it's super easy to miss.
Not to mention that middle section is going to be a huge accuracy determiner for either team. Because, being able to control your fingers to hit bursts like that and get the jacks in the middle of them and then transition into LNs, all of that's going to take a lot of precision.
Oh my gosh. And this match is where we're going the distance here, even 3-3. And every pick at this point is so incredibly crucial now.
It's like Philippines was having some third player issues determining between Kura and Swarmzy, but it looks like Swarmzy's the one staying in, hopefully going to Mystery.
Yep, and potentially Kura. Oh, we're seeing. Okay, wait, no.
Oh, they're just swapping people.
Yeah, let's figure it out.
Swarmzy's back. I expect Mystery to be here because I think they are one of the strongest players for early game on Philippines teams, on everything.
Survey says who is the third player for the Philippines?
I think it should be Mystery. That's my personal opinion. Or it looks like they're trying to get Kura in.
Like I said, this map can go in so many ways.
Okay, Kura has opened that third slot for the Philippines. Looks like they are good now. I think they have all 6 players that are meant to be in this map. And they should be ready to go for Etude. I think the physically easiest pick in the pool, but definitely not the easiest overall.
No, it's like just an extremely difficult amalgamation of everything that's difficult about their corresponding genres of maps. Like,
yeah, T-Deck's very good at making things easy to play physically, but hard to play. Like, he just does it all the time. Saihate is another example of that, which was used last year in finals, which doesn't look like it should be that hard, but it is. It was. I don't even know how to describe it. It's not describable how actually difficult those kinds of charts are.
Physicality 1, execution difficulty 11 out of 10.
Yeah, it literally is that. Like, I think T-Deck has a history of doing stuff like that. Like, I mean, Burn This Moment. It's not that hard to play physically, but technically, it's very hard to keep yourself together on stuff like that. But we're looking at Etude right now, an example of that kind of chart, just on the easier end of the spectrum.
Out of the opening, we get some early long notes, not the most difficult in the map by far.
Yeah, definitely a chart that likes to develop its difficulty over time.
And this is just so scary to watch, oh my gosh.
Stability having some issues on those jacks, giving Philippines a bit of an accuracy lead. Els and Swarmzy at that 99.87 apiece, both above Piggy and Dale, respectively. So Philippines has a direct accuracy lead right now.
Nobody getting caught up on those overlapping LNs, but we get a second section right around the corner here.
Here comes the part that's going to determine a lot. This is really hard to keep accuracy on, and Piggy and Dale both finding some pretty significant accuracy drops. Els and Swarmzy staying alive. That lead on Philippines is growing now.
And here we get that right section. Watch this transition right here. No players getting caught up by it. Some accuracy from Cura, but not too much damage incurred by either side.
I think Piggy also found a little bit of 200 damage, but Els and Swarmzy holding up the fort for Philippines. Every single Canadian player below 99.7. And stability with him is, traded back by Cura, though.
Cura's drop was much more severe.
Yeah, it is. But Els and Swarmzy being the backup that Cura needs to keep that lead in favor of the Philippines right now. That accuracy is huge right now.
Getting ready to wind down. Not too much left. Some long notes. These aren't trivial, but they're not as hard as earlier sections here. And if all things go as they should, Philippines should maintain what they've got.
No one's going to mess up this ending, right?
Wow. And we continue.
Insanely close. But it looks like Philippines does take their own pick by the skin of their teeth, 4-3.
4,300 points. And Silhouesca Elze with a 1-200 run. Swarmzy with 2 200s, not too far behind.
Really good team score from Philippines. That even with that massive miss from Cura, I think that lost Cura like 15,000 points, and being able to, back up your teammates like that is a very big in the World Cup setting.
Canada's scores all very solid. Their stabilities misses being really tough to take, but I think even without those misses, they probably still don't win. But it's a lot closer, I think.
Yeah, but we're back on to Canada's pick, and we have 3 rice picks available that are all very tricky and risky to pick.
Yeah, so we've got Open Your Eyes, Brain Fog, and One of None.
Given Canada's playstyle, I think I would expect Open Your Eyes to come out. I think they like to stick with the more straightforward picks, the ones they feel that they're not going to miss off of like a random thing, where like in something like Brain Fog and One of None, it's very easy just to trip over yourself.
The other difficult thing about One of None is it's very easy to build incredibly bad habits on that map. The patterns are very anchor heavy, very uncomfortable to play through. It's decently fluent if you've got full control, but the moment your muscle memory gets spoiled, you're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, you have to be extremely focused for One of None because of how intrusive the anchors are throughout the entire chart. Like, they don't stop. They are never not there. And that can be, and even if you're really focused, that can be a very huge detriment on your reading, because I have found myself personally trying to tense up to hit the anchors at a lot of points when it's not necessary, and losing stamina where I don't need to be.
Oh, but they go for it. One of None coming out by Canada.
Potentially, they're just looking at this as a sort of straightforward, like, broken jump stream kind of pick, something they're able to keep their accuracy on more significantly than something like Brain Fog or Open Your Eyes.
And I imagine we are most certainly going to see Loafus of Bread coming back for Canada, but the question is, what is the Philippines going to do here?
Swarmzy has to be coming back in, right?
I would hope so.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the same team from the Philippines, actually. I think Mystriel might come back in, maybe in place of Kerr or Els, but I would not expect a huge difference from Philippines roster.
Oh, is it going to be Piggy's Stability and Loafus?
Yeah, looks like Stability is staying in. This is at a point where Stability is able to flex their accuracy.
Swarmzy coming back in for the Philippines as expected.
Teams being reminded of tactical timeouts, which haven't been used, I think, at all this tournament yet. But a good thing to know that you have in case that you really need that break. Because in this kind of situation, 4-3, you're on your own pick, trying to get back to 4-4. This is an important pick for them.
So looking like Kura's gonna, there it is. Kura's gonna get swapped out for the Mystriel. That is a very sensible decision.
Yeah.
right. And it looks like Piggy is calling for the tactical timeout for Canada.
Just trying to get that break going, get themselves another 2 minutes to breathe, get water, go to the bathroom, do whatever they need to do before this pick, which is important. They need this pick at this point.
Yeah, and just a brief reminder here, a break point gives Philippines match point on their pick, so that would be absolutely disastrous.
Oh, are they trying to change the pick? Looks like they might not be wanting to go for one of none. I don't know. Can they do that? I've seen it done before, but I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know what they'd want to change it to. I think one of none is a fine pick. It's just that all three of the picks available are kind of awkward. Okay, it looks like we're getting word that it is allowed and Canada will be allowed to change their pick.
I'm assuming that if the pick gets reverted, we're probably going to see... If I'm Canada, I'd probably expect to open your eyes.
Yeah, I would expect that as well.
With a team that's as physically oriented as Canada is on the top end, open your eyes is probably a reasonably safe pick.
Yeah, even with how easy the patterns are in it, then it can be very hard to keep up with. 308 BPM is a lot higher than we've seen at this round in previous years.
Yeah, this is normally quarterfinals level streaming, if I'm not mistaken. The overall difficulty has been kind of amplified with a smoother gradient upward, it seems like.
I think if we look back on like 2018 and 2019, the speed picks were around that like 310, 320 BPM range. I think the Joel chart that was used in 2018 was about 320. So like only being 12 BPM lower at this point in round of 16 is wild.
And it seems like one of none will remain the pick after all.
Okay, whatever works. I guess they just wanted to have a little bit more discussion since they realized they had that break ready. That's really all I can think of about what Canada would be doing as far as that works.
Oh, GD Mem.
Ooh, I haven't seen this in a while.
Piggy, GD Mem, and Lopez for Canada. And then we're seeing Sorelia, the Mystery L, and Swarmzy for the Philippines. So Sorelia returning once more.
Yeah, awkward enough on the right section that L's might not feel consistent enough on it to play something like this. Get someone like Sorelia in, bring them in and see if they can, amend that kind of consistency.
Oh boy. Song number 8 out of 11. Canada hoping to even the playfield once more.
Yeah.
A 4-4 result here on one of none. This is a scary pick in this kind of high pressure situation because it can all go wrong in an instant. And the OD 8.7 certainly doesn't help that.
Yeah, the good news for Canada is that even though this is a bit of a risky pick, everything else in the pool is also going to be a risky pick for Philippines. Neither team are going to get out of this easily because they're at the point where they've exhausted their comfortable picks. Which is interesting. It actually makes it kind of interesting because Soccer Mirage still has a good pick, which is a pure long note chart. That's still completely open for the Philippines, but it seems that they're respecting Canada's overall LN density capabilities as they saw in last round and on Gario Tensei from the qualifiers.
Coming back over here, Canada with a pretty substantial lead on account of Sorelia falling slightly behind compared to the rest of the lobby here, sitting at 99.40. All players still holding that full combo, and we are hitting the halfway point with Canada having about 4,000 points of advantage.
Yeah, 4,000 points of advantage. Not a whole lot when we're talking about this kind of map. One miss is going to be about 10,000 points of difference. So this jump stream section coming up is going to be extremely important.
And we're also hitting that, constant structure, which means accuracy will be important here.
And here we go. Piggy and Lopez staying above that 99.8. GDMM not too far behind. Swarmzy at 99.92. Sorelia, the big difference maker right now. Just being that far behind is enough. Client, I'm not believing that right now. Okay, they're reset. I don't think this lead is actually in favor of the Philippines either. I'm pretty sure it's still with Canada, but not by a whole lot. Yeah, that is no lead at all. But assuming they don't get tripped up, it looks like Canada does even it out 4-4, 2,900 points of difference.
78 V1SS, 149 V1SS for the Philippines. So 2 V1SSs there. A single 200 by the other Canada players and a V1SS by Lofus.
Those 100s from Sorelia might have been the difference maker, honestly. And I don't know when Sorelia got them, but given their accuracy at the beginning, they might have just had a flub at the beginning. You know, this is still anyone's game.
All right, guys, we are playing a best of 3 now. Y'all ready?
Best of 3. Each team needs 2 points. We're looking at a potential tiebreaker, and Philippines had a tiebreaker last round, so they might be going on 2 tiebreakers in a row, depending on how the next 2 picks go.
What an exhausting way to push through the bracket. Not 1 tiebreaker, but 2 tiebreakers in back-to-back rounds. And as we can see, this map pool is running very thin here. Open Your Eyes, Brain Fog, Discordia, and Sakura Mirage, the only picks remaining. And both teams are only going to pick one of these.
Yeah, I think I like looking at this graphic right now, because you can see the Canada zone and you can see the Philippines zone.
Whoa!
Discordia coming out. No Sakura Mirage pick coming out from Philippines. This is their last pick in this match. So unless Canada decides they want to go with a long note pick, Sakura Mirage is getting ignored.
This is wow. This is such a bold pick. I really like it.
They're looking for the chokes. That's pretty much it. This chart is so easy to mess up. I'm going to be interested to see the beginning of this, because those 3-note jacks are tough.
Yeah, just holding combo out of the intro is really difficult in this map. And even outside of the intro, this map is non-trivially physical. You gotta push if you want the accuracy on this.
Indeed, but the flip side of that is pushing too hard for accuracy can make things very hard to keep combo on, especially on something like this.
Absolutely, it's striking the balance where you're getting respectable accuracy, at least good enough to carry your team or carry yourself as a part of a team against another team. It's so nerve-wracking. You got to figure out exactly what to do. Yeah, and just hope that it's enough.
The way that the LNs intermingle with the Rice patterns in this is probably as uncomfortable as it gets for this kind of round, where the jacks kind of make you feel like you have to let go of the LNs all the time. It's just kind of how this kind of pick goes.
And the jacks are fast enough for players who are not as proficient at jacks to have to strain a little bit.
Yeah, 140 BPM is like, I mean, as far as talking about previous tournaments, that's like quarter semifinals speed. So we're not looking at something that's easy to hit, especially when we get the really dense bursts of jacks. There's one particular pattern in this where there's 1-2s and then 3-4s and then 1-2s, 2-3s and then 3-4s.
Yes.
And that pattern, if you're not able to keep up with 140 jacks, you're going to miss. You're going to. There's nothing you can do about it. It's extremely hard to coordinate, and it's basically just a long jack.
Okay, on we go. Song number 9. Winner of this pick guarantees themselves a tiebreaker.
At the very least. GD Mem staying in for this one as well. Interesting to keep him in. Dale with his accuracy and long note ability, and Piggy, the, I think, most consistent player on Canada's side. Staying in. Silweska, Elza, Swarmzy, and Mystriel on the opposite side. Same situation. Probably the A team. Swarmzy missing on one of the 3-note jacks. Not the best start. I was mentioning that before, that those can be very tricky to get right.
Hopefully minute in the grand scheme of things here as we get through this opening. There is a lot to look out for.
GD Mem having some major accuracy issues on that burst, down to the low 99s, and it looks like Philippines is able to get a bit of that score gap reduced off of it. And it looks like they actually might have a lead now, despite the miss from Stormzy.
The slightest of leads, but a lead nonetheless as we hit. And Mystriel finding a break.
Yeah.
Jax, you mentioned.
Yeah, I did mention that pattern. Everything I'm mentioning is getting misses on Philippines. I'm so sorry. 3 full combos from Canada, but still not the biggest lead because of the accuracy that the Philippines is able to maintain. Oh, but a miss from Sylweska Elza, but Piggy trades it back. But Mystriel gets another one right there.
And this lead is growing larger for Canada. And again, this map really does not let up much. Oh, that miss from L was a client drop, actually.
Oh, no. Well, it wasn't a client drop. I think there was a weird accuracy thing with Swarmzy does seem to actually miss now as well. That lead on Canada is maintaining itself. GD Mem with a bit of a miss. This is going back. Another miss! Oh my god!
It's about to shift over to the Philippines.
It's on the Philippines side right now. All 3 of the Philippines players are about to be at that 400 combo. They just need to maintain it.
They're going to be getting max points at this point right now, so Canada's going to have to put their foot on the throttle and keep that accuracy high.
This ending's not easy. This ending is not easy.
These Jacks coming in, again, really difficult to hold composure. All of the players in the Philippines keeping it together, though.
And there it goes. They're able to get it. No messes up on the inverse. Philippines brings it 5-4.
And from the depths of a potential loss there, they bring it back. Look at those counts.
Yeah, 2-2 or 1-2-2. The bad judgments aside, that's an insane 200 count spread. But this is saying something when the highest score in the lobby is 984k.
Yeah. And look at how tight the score spread is with the six players too. Lowest being 970. GD Mem just barely missing a single digit 200 count. All of these players are playing out of their mind right now.
Whoa! Canada just picked Sakura Mirage. What? Wait a minute. What is happening?
What?
They just picked the density long note pick. Yo!
I have no words. Oh my god. What?
What is happening? They have to be feeling pretty good. I mean, they won paintings. They did win paintings.
Oh my gosh. This pick by Canada could be such an incredible morale boost because it's yet another LN victory against a team that's pretty damn good at LNs to get themselves to tiebreaker.
Yeah, this is the last pick of this match. Next one, if Canada wins, we're going to tiebreaker. That means that Open Your Eyes and Brain Fog were ignored.
Can you believe it? Can you believe it?
What a weird 2 maps to ignore. Especially in a match with Canada, where one of the rice charts was banned. No, it wasn't. None of the rice charts were banned. No, Canada banned one of the rice charts. Yeah. What is going on?
This is the COVID universe. We're just living
so
in a different...
confused. I'm so confused.
Oh my gosh. Canada going with the LN density pick for song number 10, looking to win this to push the tiebreaker into this match.
Banking on a long note pick against the Philippines. That is a wager for the ages.
Stone cold stare. We could do this. That is what Canada is saying.
Yeah, they just gave that WWE stare down to Philippines. It looks like so far they're doing pretty well. Having that score lead, L's actually finding some issues. Jay at the same rate. Stability and Piggy both around 99.9. This is a pretty good accuracy lead for Canada up to this point.
Carrying about a 6,500 point lead. Not enough to be unconcerned with the miss, though. A miss will definitely tip it back, but very close regardless. Players on the Philippines are trying to pull their accuracy back, basically all in the same accuracy area.
About to get out of this little stream section, getting into a bit of a Oh, Cyril! Oh, that is a massive miss from Cyril. I don't know if this is possible to come back from.
Sorelia with an absolutely ridiculous column lock, and that could be it for the Philippines right there.
I think that is it. That is 50,000 points that Sorelia just lost there.
And such are the ways with these LN density picks. When you have streams that have alternating patterns where one note repeats a lot, Piggy finding a drop, but nowhere near the damage that Sorelia found. Actually, Piggy's miss was very clean.
Still saying at 99.8. Sorelia dropped to the mid-97s off of that. There would need to be a huge mistake in order to turn this around. I think this is going to be a tiebreaker. This is looking like a tiebreaker in Philippines. Another unfortunate circumstance.
The only way for the Philippines to come back is if we have a repeated note, just get column locked on the Canada side. Sorelia column locking again in the quarter this time around.
And even bigger lead. Canada taking it, bringing it to tiebreaker. Sound Chimera coming out. Oh my god, yo!
Wow, what are those scores? Silhoesca Elze with a V1SS, but Canada as a unit, single-digit 200s.
What
for
a
the cumulative.
Pick. What a pick from Canada. Stare down worked, I guess.
Wow. In the game of chicken, Canada won big time there.
It looks like Canada didn't even expect to win that. They were going off of a full gamble. They just bet $1,500 on red at the roulette table and won.
Yeah, we don't pick colors, we don't pick evens or odds. We pick the number and we go with it.
We do indeed. Sound Chimera coming out. A very tricky map overall. A bit potentially long note favored, but given what we just saw in Sakura Mirage, I don't know if I can say anything about the expectations of this match.
Yeah, we're gonna have to find the ideal battery here, because now this map is very physical on the right side. The long note's non-trivial, but there's also a really physical element to this, and that has to be kept in mind here. We're seeing Stability and Piggy coming in. Who's gonna be the third player? Are we gonna see Gale come back?
I'm guessing it's gonna be Lofus potentially, because depending on Lofus' ability to keep combo on the LNs, I think he would be the best position. Mystery L coming in, unsurprisingly.
And that's probably going to be taking J?
J, yeah. I think L's, Swarmzy, and Mystery L is going to be the A team for Philippines for this pick. It looks like Jay was having internet issues. He would have been gone by now, I think. So it looks like, yep, there goes Jay. Mystery L will take his spot, and we'll see the third player for Canada come in.
Gosh, what a hell of a way to start this block.
Yeah, Philippines with their second tiebreaker out of 2 rounds.
GD Mem coming in. Is that so? Oh goodness. J1002 apparently having a power outage over at his location. So is this the set we're going to see? Is this the composition we're going to see for these two countries here?
Yeah, there we go. GMM, an interesting choice, but he did show some pretty good prowess on the 2 picks I believe that he played.
And we're seeing the good luck have funs coming out. This appears to be the compositions that are going to be locked in on song number 11 to determine who's going to be moving on into the quarterfinals of winners bracket.
This is so intense. I don't even know what to say.
A well-fought effort by both teams. It is going to culminate in Sound Chimera.
They get a little bit of a break at the beginning. It's about a minute before the actual chart starts, but not to say that the rhythms at the beginning are trivial in any case. They're going to see some weird accuracy things going on at the beginning. Bit of a client break from Els, but accuracy staying above where it needs to be. GDMM having some issues on this early section, but that is not going to matter as much. I think combo is going to be extremely important, and as I say that, Swarmzy does find a break in this intro.
thankfully, with the difficulty of this map, if you wanted to combo breaking early is certainly going to be the way to do it, as long as you don't do it again.
Yeah, that density, as we get further on, the density is going to be very important to keep the combo on, especially when we get to the big Guillermetzia burst sections and the 2 major long note sections.
Even with the drop by Swarmzy, the scores are very close because Silhoeska Elze and Mystery L having very strong accuracy out of the opening.
This is going to be a scary match to watch once this jump stream starts kicking in. Just ominous.
Yeah, you feel an ominous build-up, and what a way to do it.
Here we go, some faster streams are going to start kicking in. But I think we're going to start seeing some accuracy and combo drops happening once we get into that burst coming up here into the long note section. Stability finds a drop in that weird polyrhythm section, but we're going to see what happens coming up right about now.
We get to the LN density with the Philippines carrying about a 5,000 point lead as Stability tries to climb back up to that combo cap. All 3 players on the Philippines having really good accuracy, 2 FCs on both sides.
Yeah, the accuracy is giving Philippines an advantage, plus that miss from Swarmzy was early enough that it didn't take away his full 400 combo bonus. So that's ultimately going to give them a favor. This upcoming is going to be a big test for Canada, I think.
Yes, this is where the LN foundations are tested and put to the max. It doesn't look that fast, but the patterns are brutal.
No major issues yet. Accuracy is not really changing that much, but the accuracy for Philippines is staying superior at the moment. No combo breaks from them after that intro section has happened, and we're going to be getting into the fast section. GD Mem at the end did find a break, though. They're going to need some breaks from the Philippines now to hopefully give Canada an ability to come back in this. But we've still got 3 minutes left of this chart. We've got lots of time.
It'll be crucial for GD Mem to hold that combo. Very difficult spot to miss, having to deal with the onslaught of Rice here. But it looks like we're going to get through. Actually, Stability finding a miss as well at some point.
Yeah, Mystery L and L's both holding the full combos. Swarmzy holding combo as he has been through the rest of the chart. Piggy with the full combo as well. But Stability and GD Mem are finally at that combo bonus. And as I say that, Stability actually drops combo yet again.
Deceptively difficult anchored pattern there. Very easy to miss on. And Stability, once again, going to have to recover back to that combo cap in this chord jack section.
Yeah, and this chord jack section goes on for quite a bit. There's a bit of more of a Jackie tech section coming up after that you could consider a bit of a break for some people. Like, I think Swarmzy is just like, what would you call it? He's just going through it. He doesn't need to worry about this section, I don't think.
the autopilot of sorts.
Yes, autopilot. That was the word I was looking for.
Both teams just having a pretty solid average act there. Canada sitting around mid 99.5s, while Philippines sitting around 99.75 average for the team. And the pace of this map is going to increase very shortly. Some more opportunities to potentially break combo on both sides.
Yeah, another very difficult long note section coming up. More technical, more choke heavy, I think, than the other LN section that we've seen so far. So it's going to be interesting to see how the 2 teams fare. Something to the point where Philippines could potentially find drops here.
And nobody really flinching, even in terms of 200s on either side here. Both sides handling it decently well.
I want to note that the accuracies from the Philippines, all 3 above 99.7. Okay, I was about to say essentially 3 full combos. Silhoeska Elza does find a drop there. The lead is still in the favor of the Philippines, and we're about to be heading into the final long note section, a repeat from earlier. And Piggy finding a drop from his full combo. It looks like Philippines is going to be able to ride this train home.
Last long note section, Mystery L, the only full combo remaining, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that is the only full combo. Swarmzy missed at the very beginning, but it's not going to matter. Philippines going to take their 6th point in the match and bring it home to face either the United States or France. Oh, no full combos! No full combos! No, but still. Philippines does take it. They move on in the winners bracket to winners quarterfinals.
God, the curse was real on the full combo there.
That
No straight
was
L.
3 misses all at once. Unfortunate, but Philippines
Ratios everywhere.
move on, and they will be facing either the United States or France next weekend for the quarterfinals.
Difficult match no matter what here. These counts are impressive all across the board. 7, 16, 14, and 6, all really, really solid. The fact that 33 is the worst on this tiebreaker is kind of absurd to me.
That's ridiculous. 978 being the lowest score, that is also ridiculous. What a match. 2 break points. Only 2. Up to the tiebreaker, and Philippines takes it home.
Yeah, and a very, very hard-fought match by both the Philippines and Canadian teams. Worthy of commendation, both sides. That was a fantastic job by both. They gave it their all, and it showed here. Left it all on the battlefield.
Yep. And with that being said, we do have another match for this block, which you and I are commentating, which is going to be Chile versus China, which has already finished their first pick. And that went in the favor of Chile, winning Gimme the Blood, the SV pick. Important to note, neither SV pick was banned. Discordia was banned by Chile, and Open Your Eyes was banned by China, which I think are both fair bans from these teams.
I think so too. I'm very happy to see Chile actually running with SVs. That's really neat. This has been a historically, they've been historically good with SVs in the past, but they have a basically all new roster. So seeing being able to do that is really cool.
Yeah, they had a big thing with, I think Walter was a big start of the SV train in Chile, and now he hasn't been on the team for a few years, and they're still keeping up with it. And I think Muka's doing a good job of keeping the team on that. Or Kanochi 3, as his name is now. And it looks like they're in the middle of their second pick. Paintings, oh yeah, by China, I would assume.
Appears to be Chile, actually. Are the picks out of order?
No, China's team red. So China did pick this. Chile picked Gimme the Blood. China picked this.
Oh, okay.
I think the color's just wrong because it was just moved, so it looks like it's the first pick. But
yep, understood.
But yes, this is China's pick.
Apparently a well-placed pick, as we see Jian De Rin actually having found a break early in the map there, and China having a small lead as a result of that. Actually, that's a little more than small.
And not to mention stupid CLs having the lowest accuracy in the lobby right now, 99.36. Even with the FC, while China's holding the triple FC, that's not going to matter that much.
Not only a triple FC, but just, again, really good accuracy across the board, all very well compacted in that same accuracy range.
Yeah, Muka showing off like he usually does, but unless the rest of his team is able to bring it back up so that they can compete with China, it looks like this is going to be a pretty safe pick for China.
Yeah, China up a little over 10,000 points here in the last last third of the map, and not really much doing by any of these players. You got 5 FCs in the lobby, and the difficulty of the map doesn't get too much harder than what they've already dealt with the exception of the ending.
Yeah, we've got about a 10-15,000 point lead for China right now. It would take a couple of misses, I think, to get that, given how high the note count is in this map.
I agree. I think it's at least 2 misses, if not more.
But given how consistent China's been looking, I'd be surprised to see even 1 miss coming out from them.
This little ending section here, some really tight patterns, kind of easy to overhold, but nobody having issues there, except for Sunny, who just had a brief drop. A little bit of a dirty drop, but not going to be enough to really dig into the lead too much, and China should still be really comfortable unless a crazy column lock happens or something.
Still looks like about 10,000 points, and this ending is a bit on the easy side. Just a repeat of the intro. Looks like China's going to have just fine of a time taking their first point against Chile.
And even with a miss, a team score of 2.96, that is very solid.
Yeah, it looks like an average of about 988k between them.
Yeah, that does look about right there. 2 990s, 3 200s by 2 players there. Kanochi on the Chile side, 1 200 with really good ratio.
Yeah, in extraordinary ratio, beating out everyone in the lot. I think he halved everyone else's ratio, which is ridiculous. It's like we're fixing the colors of the picks right now.
Awesome.
So we'll have the right picks coming up. But, you know, we saw Chile. Oh, sounds like they're going with Die Winnipeg. Not surprising.
Yep, that makes a lot of sense.
With a team comp consisting of your top two being Yuka and Urusai, you go with... This is your pick. This is what you pick with that team comp.
And number 3 is Rise going to be number 3. Lucifer coming in for China, not surprising whatsoever. Lucifer, a very proficient Rice player.
Yeah, also a very experienced World Cup player, having gone back, I think, from 2017 or 2016 even. Been on the team for a very long time. That experience matched with his physical prowess is just, you know, you don't let him not play this.
Right now, Chile going, obviously, they're banking on superior accuracy, but China has been an absolute wall of consistency, so if you're going to do the job, you've got to do it right. This has got to be clean. Getting the MP start command here, we're about to get underway. 1-1 deadlock at the moment, match just starting, and we're getting into Die Winnipeg. Very tiring stamina chart as long as, or with regards to this particular pool.
Yeah, I think this is one, even regarding everything else, this might not be the longest pick. It's actually one of the shortest Rice picks, so I think it definitely affects your stamina more than almost anything else.
Yeah, packs a very big punch, and not one that lasts too long. Only a minute 53 playable time.
Yeah, really good. I think this is a really good pick for Chile because of that, too. It's really short. You can really punch your accuracy in. There's less possibility of misses. You know, they're really just able to push their advantage against China here. 100% accuracy for the first 200 nodes from Muka. No big deal.
Yeah, just the autoplay mod doing its usual work, you know.
Yeah, a soft 5 winner by a landslide. No big deal.
So something worth noting about the current lead right now, Riz is a little bit desynced from the other players here.
Oh,
so China's
yeah.
lead is not quite as big as it looks.
I think Chile should have the lead right now, given the accuracy.
Yeah, that'd be correct. Yeah, and you see it flash when we have a little bit of a break of notes there.
Yeah, it's about 15 notes behind, and that's enough to give make it seem like China has a lead. But I think Chile is about 1,000 points ahead right now, is what it looks like.
Yeah, that would be accurate. Oh, that's not good. Rise, they're having some connectivity issues.
Oh, he's back. He's back. This is going to be a little weird, but we're good.
We're going to have to pay attention to the individual percentages there, and on average, Chile having just a slight advantage as a unit there, as Rice falls a little bit. Chile's sitting around 99.92, I think would be their average.
Yeah, that 99.99 from Muka being a huge help. I thought I just saw a miss. I don't know why.
And this map comes as quickly as it goes here. These note counts increasing very rapidly with how heavy these streams are.
Indeed, the hands themselves are basically force trills into the patterns, which can be very tiring on each hand.
And it's looking like Chile is going to take this as we watch Rise take the...
Looking good. The lead goes back into Chile's favor. 14? Wait, what? I don't... See, I said that Stability's painting score was illegal last match. I feel like that's less legal than that.
we're into the depths of Oceania black market here. What the hell?
Muka is the only person in the black market. He can just stay there. No one else is allowed. And Urusai with the nice 300 count. Let's go.
Of course.
They had to get it.
The other thing worth mentioning, I'm pretty sure China had, I think, 2 V1 double S's there.
Yeah, really good scores all around. Urusai, unfortunately, getting that 1-200. I think Rise actually had a double S as well. But just, you know, when you're with Muka and Urusai, the ratio's not necessarily going to compare. But still very solid team score from Chile. all together. What was the team total? Let me take a nice look at the MP lobby. 2.99 million. Yes, that's it.
So
we did it.
China was a three-way V1 double S.
Yeah, Urusai had 1 200. Rise had 2 200s.
China's like, yeah, we can V1 double S, and Chile's like, yeah, so what?
yeah, you can V1 double S, but Muka can get 14 300s on it. What do you do to that? What do you do against a 14 300 run?
Let the song move on and pray that a miss happens somewhere else. That's what you do.
I mean, the real move is to go with the next release pick of the pool, which is Cavcell.
Yep, and a solid pick at that. Rin come back in. Stupid CL also coming back in. Satori coming in for China. At this point, we're gonna have to see if China just goes back and evens things out.
Yeah, here we go. If it goes anything like Paintings did, I would imagine China should be pretty safe. But this is a little bit less coordination based, a little more, on the accuracy side of things, just, more straightforward long notes, even if it is a bit harder overall than Paintings or Sakura Mirage.
Yep, general MO for this is just keep on your toes and, make sure that you're keeping alert. There's a lot of pattern diversity in this particular map, and it's very easy to get bad accuracy if you're not really paying attention.
Yeah, for sure. This opening not treating the Chilean team super well. Stupid CL being at that 99.6 and Jean being at 99.6 as well, along with Stupid. Muka giving that advantage to the Chilean team, though, there, so that the lead is not that heavy, but I think we're going to be seeing a similar situation as the last match, where that middle section is going to be extremely important as far as the lead goes.
China just averaging right around 99.7. Kanochi keeping the lead for Chile just on account of a massive accuracy lead compared to the rest of the Chinese team. We're seeing that score just flicker back and forth. It's probably ever so slightly in favor of Chile, but Stupid CL finding continual accuracy drops and no combo breaks, but that lead is going to comfortably shift towards China.
This section not treating Stupid CL super well, giving China a bit of a lead, but the ending should favor Chile given the beginning, but it really isn't. It's really a matter of how much this middle section is going to affect, because China definitely has the lead now.
Yeah, their score is not changing much, just dropping ever so slightly as a unit, but again, no real damage otherwise. Coming into the last section of the map here, China with a slight but sizable lead.
Another 200 off from Stupid CL. That accuracy is staying low in that 99.3 range. China is looking pretty strong. And Muka, with the unfortunate miss, is looking like China's going to take that second point.
2.968 as a team score there. And immediately seeing a player disappear. They're not going to catch that score right away, but 5 and 6 200s respectively on like China. Those are really good.
It looks like he just expected Chile to go straight into more rice and, just getting out of that lobby. I got my score, I'm leaving.
Dodging the bullets, I want no part of this. But that was 6 200s, 5 200s, and 4 200s by Satori.
Very consistent. China's always been a very consistent team as far as 200 counts and accuracy goes. They've always been very good at keeping similar scores, making sure that they have a very well-balanced team, and it's showing here.
Urusai coming back in. I'm wondering if we're going to see the Robotic Girl or Brain Fog, one of those two.
I think Robotic Girl is more likely, personally.
And I imagine with that, we'll also see Rise come back as well.
Yeah. And there goes Robotic Girl as the pick, coming in with more jump stream, more straightforward, more 999.7s by Muka.
And we got to keep in mind too, this is just more constant stuff. This
is literally just their bread and butter. This is both of their bread and butter. They don't need to worry about it.
The stomping grounds. Also, Kaisium's trying to get Satori back in after a crash. Oh no, that's what happened at the end of the previous song. Like, Satori's trashed.
It's good that it crashed after the match happened.
Right.
Yeah, China got their point. Satori can crash all they want after that happens.
Yeah, expected 3 for Chile. Rice coming back in. Urusai, of course, wouldn't expect any different, and Kanochi rounding out the 3. And of course, Lucifer coming back in. And as we get on, song number 5 out of a possible 11, deadlocked at 2-2. Currently working a best of 7 here as both teams need 4 points apiece to win the corresponding match. And Lucifer coming back in here. This is going to be a very close showdown here. Obviously, we know Kanochi and Urusai going to have tremendous accuracy, but none of the Chinese players slouches at all when it comes to Rice. So we're going to be looking at Rise CL to hopefully bridge that gap. We're having some connectivity desync here. Hopefully we can get everybody squared away. Lots of connectivity issues here. But it looks like we might get there. We might get there. Oh, I see it lined up. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Hold your breath. All right, we all started at about the same time. That is perfect. And Kanochi with the 100% for the first 150 notes and climbing. Urusai not too far behind there. Mid 99.9s on China, though. And that's actually going to keep China very close in the running here as we see Rise falling ever so slightly behind. 99.84 being behind in this situation is somewhat disturbing, but everybody is sharpshooting on this pick.
Yeah, Calcium being a little bit close, probably the closest member of either team to Rise right now, but it's still keeping Chile in the lead with that 100% from Muka.
700 notes in. Can we turn off the autoplay, please, for the love of God?
Yeah, sorry, Muka. You're banned from this tournament because no one should be able to do this.
What is...
No one should be able to do this off of just, you know, a normal play. 100.00%. We're about to hit the 1,000 combo mark. We're not going to see him. Okay. Oh, no. Urusai missed. Oh,
what a trade.
Trade, yeah.
Wow.
I wonder if Muka's dropped any 300s. Because I think we're far enough into the chart that 1 or 2 would still keep them at 100%.
Yeah, that might not be a triple S as we like to call it in Score V2 terminology. Both misses have gotten back to the combo cap here, and China, just, all these scores are just really good. There's not much to say about it.
This would... I'm not going to mention it anymore. This is so stupid.
What the hell?
We're over halfway through the chart. They're at single digit 300s, guaranteed. They're at like 1 or 2 right now, at the most.
I would like to request whoever the streamer is, can we please get a hover over that unstable rate as soon as this map is over? Because I am wondering if we're seeing like low 50s on something this dense.
No! The long notes! No! They ruined it! Long note map! Long note map!
We're seeing Rise 99.84, the lowest percentage in the lobby, which is still not too far away from Kaisium, who's just basically right around the same mark, 99.86.
Yeah.
Sheila having a slight advantage on account of Urusai having that 99.90 as well on a side of the 99.99 by Kanochi, which I'm still just dumbfounded.
Jeez. This is a 999 point. I think this is a 999.7 from Muka. A miss from Calcium or Caesium, I guess. Going to give Chile the guaranteed win here. Well, probably, unless we see some misses. But
I don't even.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. Is my 999.7 going to come true? Earthside misses again, but I don't think that's going to matter.
It does nothing to the current situation here as we see 999.671. Oh my god.
Oh, jeez.
21.
21.
Uruguay with 123 but 2 misses.
I don't remember the last time I've seen a score that high. I think it was 2018 when Lothus got 8 300s on Her Majesty.
Goodness. What an unstable. I believe that unstable was that 57 or 67? I could not tell.
Well, that's not 67. It can't be, right?
That'd be 57 probably.
Yeah, it has to be 57.
That's a standard deviation of 5.7 milliseconds. No.
Yeah. I think the record in Mania is like 48. And getting within a millisecond of it.
Yeah.
This is wild.
Worth noting, by the way, with an early lean, negative 5.1 to 3.9 milliseconds.
Yeah, and looks like it was confirmed 57.7 UR.
And it seems like we're getting note that the lowest UR recorded in Mania is 44.
Still, thinking about that, like what kind of chart had a 44 UR? That's like somewhere between 2 and 4 stars, and we just saw someone get 57 on 215 BPM jump stream.
Right. Yeah, moving on. China going with Sakura Mirage to try to even things back up. 3-3. And I think they're trying to get Rise to leave the MP lobby, most likely in favor of bringing back.
Yeah, it looks like it's
CL
a little bit. Yep, there he goes. And it comes stupid CL.
Very familiar compositions here. We just kind of keep seeing these back and forth.
God, I didn't mention it last match because of how intense the match was when we got to this, but it is so uncomfortable hearing no sound Voltex sounds in this.
We're so used to the just bang bang whoosh whoosh of the old rank.
Yeah, like the ending of this has, in the sound Voltex one, has that like 1/3 jack pattern, and I was so expecting that to happen in this. But it just doesn't. It just doesn't happen.
you just get so many streams, and you're like, wasn't it supposed to stop?
Yeah, wasn't there supposed to be some weird gaps here? But no, not in the real song. I have to say it every time I see the sun. I'm sorry.
Oh man. Song number 6 out of a possible 11 here. China trying to even things back up to a 3-3 deadlock. And again, another match that could go the distance. Let's see how this particular pick runs.
We are looking at a bit of an unfortunate situation for China where their main long-up picks are, especially after Sakura Mirage is out, they're going to be exhausted. Where Chile is going to have a big, or not advantage, but possibility of taking these points. But the accuracy right now, Jean and Stupid being a little bit low, the entirety of China being ahead of those two and being able to keep that lead for themselves right now because of the accuracy.
For a sizable portion of the map there, Lucifer was actually ahead of Kanochi, falling a little bit short, but Stupid finding a drop, and that's going to hand China a much larger lead.
Yeah, a pretty big drop too, dropping down to 99.2%. Which, the lowest on China right now, 99.71, not really going to measure up, and it's going to give China a very large lead coming into the second half.
As we get through this section here, China holding 3-way FC there. Stupid CL finding a return back over that combo gap a while ago, up to 700 combo, and just continuing to recover. Bit of an accuracy deficit as a whole, whereas China doesn't have any scores underneath 99.7.
Yeah, and Lucifer doing a very good job of chasing down Muka right now. keeping within that 0.05% range of accuracy and giving the other two players on China the ability to take full advantage of the accuracy deficit on Chile's side.
At the last melody here, China's got about 15,000 points in the bank as they get to the ending of this map, which sounds, by the way, a lot different with everything gone.
Yeah, seriously. But it looks like China is going to very safely take this pick. Triple full combo from the Chinese side. Very strong team score. 991.3-ish average. Very strong scores. 994 from Lucifer. 996 from Muka. Only one score on China's side below the 990k. Same with Chile, but Stupid CL being quite a bit lower than all of China's players and giving China that big advantage.
Yeah, only 15,200s for the entirety of China. We have one player above that on Chile, almost getting a three-way single-digit 200 count, and that's just really good to have. Again, that's more proof with China's just ability to be really consistent as a team.
Yeah, and here comes one of none, the next pick from Chile. I mean, fair pick. I'm really interested to see how, because right now, Chile's guaranteed to have at least one more pick. And they're going to more than likely go with a Rice pick. And the only two left are Brain Fog and Lawn Wake, which I think are going to be the really interesting Rice picks to see from any given team in this round.
Yeah, and I'd imagine that Brain Fog is probably the safer of the two picks for Chile.
I would say so, yes.
You don't, I mean, the OD 9.1 not being as much of an issue with these really sharp accuracy players so much as the combo maintenance, which we have seen. There is an ever so slight predisposition for Kanochi to drop, even on as strong as they are. It just happens once in a while, so you got to mitigate that risk.
I mean, at that point, so like, personally, I think Kanochi would be more likely to miss on Brain Fog. I think the patterns are more, what do you call it? More chokeable, potentially, than the patterns in Lawn Wake. Just that Lawn Wake requires a much heavier, precision requirement, which, I mean, Kanochi's going to have that down anyways. So do you think that they're going to go for something that favors Kanochi in terms of combo, like Lawn Wake, or do you think that they're really going to want to go for the accuracy, like hammer down on Brain Fog?
I'm not sure. I feel like there's just two sides of every coin when you have these picks here.
Right, and we are getting into one of none now, which is a really interesting pick. I think Chile should have the advantage on this. It's straightforward enough that the accuracy should still hold strong from Kanochi and Urusai to take that advantage, but it is tricky enough that misses can happen pretty easily.
Yeah, you guys got to keep an eye on Rise once more. Going to be a key factor into whether or not Chile actually maintains this particular point.
Damn, a 6-point difference between them on that long note at the beginning. 10 notes in, that's really going to make a difference.
You joke.
Yeah, but I mean, we're getting into some more dense stuff. This part, even this part, isn't really going to matter too heavily on the end of the map unless we see some breaks. But we're going to be seeing some more interesting results once we get into the more dense sections.
Lucifer holding above 99.9. The rest of China just sitting around the 99.8 range. Average accuracies are reasonably close, even though there's a bit more of a disparity on Chile with Kanochi having that 99.99.
Yeah, Urusai staying at the 99.95 as well. Both of the two Chilean players, Kanochi and Urusai, staying above all of China. Rise being the difference right now, but it's not enough of a difference to give China any amount of lead. Chile still has a very, very slight lead in terms of score. I think the jump stream is going to be a very important player in this.
Yeah, we're very close to it. It's about to get started right here. We're going to see if we get any drops anywhere.
It actually looks like that accuracy lead is increasing very slightly on the side of Chile. It looks like China's having a bit more issue keeping the accuracy intact than Chile is. And we're about to be exiting it, and it looks like Chile is going to be able to keep it.
Yeah, Rice finding a little bit more of an accuracy drop, but the combo stays intact. Kaisium finding the drop, and Chile's going to extend that lead as if they needed it already, but that's just going to all but guarantee that they get this point.
And we're going to see another 999 from Kanochi 3 with a 99.99%. Jeez. When can we stop this? When can we stop the, 11?
Oh.
11? When was this allowed?
2 V1SSs on Chile's side, both of which are just unfathomably good. 59 by Urusai is still incredible.
Yeah, I mean, the ratios on China's side are extremely impressive too. 138, 128, those two are very solid. And then Sunny being comparable to Rise with the 202 versus 211. But, 138 versus 11. What? What do you do? What do you...
Oh! China has said we have had enough of this crap, and they are busting out SV. This is considered SV memo, correct?
This is the memorization pick, yes. Give Me the Blood was the reading one.
The reason pick?
The reason pick, yes. It was the reasonable SV pick, as you might say. And I'm worried. I'm so scared.
Okay, I'm seeing Scene Mappa in the who doesn't have the map? I swear.
Probably someone who wasn't assigned to the map in the first place.
Wait, which one of you doesn't have the map?
It was probably the Chinese player who left.
Gotcha.
That's my guess.
Oh man. So, the pinnacle of this match, an SV pick. If China loses this, they hand Chile match point, and Chile has
on their pick, on their pick,
and they've certainly got a number of avenues that they could totally go with.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, Brain Fog and Lawn Wake are the rice picks available right now. That's a bit of a scary choice, regardless of how strong your rice ability is.
Song number 8 out of a possible 11 here. China busting out SV Memo, and let's see how well rehearsed these teams are.
I want to see this. I think this is the first time we've seen it all weekend. This is the first time it hasn't been banned in a match.
Interesting.
So we're going back to the old ages of the Memo pick getting banned in every match, but we're seeing it here. And this map is very hard. There are a lot of positions in this map where you can get, not necessarily RNG, but it can be very hard to keep consistent, accuracies on it. This beginning should be pretty well rehearsed from everyone. I think that's generally the case. Once we get past about the 350 combo mark, that's when it's going to start getting interesting. Oh, it looks like Rise is having some accuracy issues already. More so than Satori, who's down at the 99.4s. Looks like China has a slight lead going into this slow jam here. This is where the SVs start getting interesting.
Get past the opening, and now the more difficult, arguably difficult. And let's see this note. There we go.
No major issues. This one's hard too. Okay.
And everybody hitting it. And now we get to this section here.
Looks like XZ1 actually had some minor issues transitioning into this section. So that lead from Canada is China is a little bit smaller than it was before. And 99.14 now, but Rise going below the 99% is giving China that advantage now.
Lucifer proving to be extremely well rehearsed on this particular map, sitting around 99.7 for a majority of this, and that is a really solid score. But XZ finding the drop.
No,
that bar is going to slide.
That's such an unfortunate drop. XZ does have enough time to get back up to the 400 combo mark. I do know that.
Yeah.
But Chile will be taking an advantage out of it unless another miss happens. There are a few more sections of this that can be very tricky to keep consistent. This part's pretty easy, but by the time XZ gets back up to that 400 combo mark, there's another section that could lead to lots of misses. And we'll just have to see. If Chile misses even once, that's going to strike the lead back into China's favor.
Gotta keep an eye between XZ1 and Rise right now, as XZ is about to hit the combo cap. There is an accuracy disparity here.
Yeah.
Rise is going to need to keep the accuracy high.
It looks like if all of China keeps accuracy and combo for the rest, they might actually snag that lead back again.
That bar is shrinking on the blue side. There's not a lot of time left. They've got to fight it off. Chile trying to hold on.
Oh, 200 from XZ as well. Coming into the last few notes. Looks like Chile's going to snag a break point.
Chile taking their 5th point on the SV away from China. 1-200 from
solely off of that miss. That was a really unfortunate miss too, because that wasn't in a section that you'd consider, chokeable compared to the rest of the chart. It was just, sometimes that happens. It just happens.
Urusai and Kanochi. Hello.
Oh, they're 1-300 apart from each other. Wow. Lucifer showing their prowess in SV. I think they also had the MVP on Gimme the Blood, but Chile also ending up taking that point away from China as well. And Brain Fog coming out, not taking a chance with an OD 9.1 map like Lawn Wake, risking the breaks that can happen from the mini jack heavy patterns of Brain Fog. I'm really interested to see the results of this. Chile 1 point away from winning this match and moving on in the winner's bracket.
Yeah, and we have seen China perform very, very well on these rice picks, just very consistent. I know Lucifer had a little bit of a choke off on Robotic Girl, but that was also a V1SS with the exception of the miss too. So this is not going to be an easy pick to win under any circumstance there. Again, it's going to come down to Rise just being able to hold on. We already know Kanochi and Urusai are, rice savants.
Yeah, if the combos stay consistent on Chile's side, they should take the win. If they don't, China has a real chance of taking a break point here and moving it back to 5-4 on China's pick, which is very important. There are still 2 hybrids left and Lawn Wake. There are 3 maps that it seems Chile's uncomfortable with, given that this is Chile's last pick of the match.
And we are seeing... Looks like there was a brief technical difficulty there.
I guess Sunny was on the blue team instead of the red team for a bit. But we're good. We're back to normal. Starting map number 9 out of possible 11. We just have gone through 24 or 23 maps.
My goodness.
A lot in the last block. This has been a very intense block. And I think a lot of people expected it to be intense.
Yeah, for sure. I think the pick'ems definitely indicated it to anyone who is participating in the official pick'ems. The China, Chile, and Philippines and Canada match had some pretty decent percentages on both sides there. So clearly, everybody having an interest in how those matches are going to go. Nowhere near as one-sided as some of the other matches.
Yeah, I think once we got past round of 32, every match started getting close because assuming that the matches go how they expect to, that's how the bracket's set up. They're gonna be very close after that first set of rounds.
I think Rise having some connectivity issues here.
Looks like they're able to connect now. Looking good. Should be fine.
Yep, and as we get things kicked off here, 1 minute 58 song does not last long. So mistakes are pretty punishing in terms of time and notes. I get this, pretty standard opening, nothing too special yet.
The basic intro giving Chile a bit of a lead. I think they should have the accuracy lead in general. Even Rise staying at that 99.95 through these mini jacks now. Insane accuracy all across Chile right now. China not too far behind, lowest being 99.79 right now.
Both teams getting through the 1/6 in that burst, basically unscathed there. Sunny having a little bit of an accuracy deficit, but nothing too impossible to come back from.
Yeah. Interesting section coming up here. There's some mini jacks into hands. I think that's going to take some interesting tolls. Oh, miss from Rise right there before that even happens. China's going to have a bit of an advantage coming in here because of that miss.
And Rise is going to need to get that combo back as quickly as possible, because not having a combo cap into that ending is a pretty tough thing to deal with.
I think hands coming up. This can be very hard to combo. I think this part is one of the hardest to keep consistent combo on. But China has the lead right now in this break, and everyone can see that. Chile has to be shaking right now. I think especially Rise is shaking.
Yeah, I think he's trying to just kind of recompose himself, seeing some little tapping, kind of trying to just get back into that groove there. Rice getting back to that 400 cap, so we're going to get max points for everybody here. And right now it's going to be up to China finding a break in order for Chile to have a shot at winning this.
Coming into the ending, China should have the advantage coming into this. As long as they keep the combo, there's not enough notes to really give Chile any advantage.
That bar is getting a little bit tight there.
It's getting very tight. Oh, it's switching. Oh my God. China takes it. 500 points, 529 points to China. Break point number 2.
Urusai and Kanochi finding a single 100 to
wow. That literally made the difference too. Those 100s. It was 500 points. That's insane. China has a pick. They have the choice between 2 hybrids. They have Shinkashane and they have Etude, as well as Lonwick 9.
Oh my gosh. Shakushane, Etude, and Lonwick 9 in China's hands. What are they going to go with? There is no comfortable pick, and there almost never is when you get to this stage, unless you've deliberately held it back.
Etude's coming out. I like this pick a lot, actually.
I think this is a solid pick, and the other thing, and the reason why I think this is a great pick, is because we've seen how strong China is no matter what the pick is. But Chile has to figure out an optimized roster for this map, which is really hard to do.
Yeah, they have to make sure that... So obviously Kanochi's going to be in. They've been very, very consistent on everything. With the one miss side, they've been doing pretty much the best out of Chile's team. Rise has been doing very solid. Urusai's also been doing very solid. This is really hard because it's not really Rice based specifically. There's a lot of sections that are going to be very mixed and long note heavy, which are going to make things hard. Which is it's kind of interesting that China hasn't chosen any of the hybrids up to this point, given that it gives Chile a very difficult decision.
Yeah, and as we see, China, they're not flinching. They're using the same 3, and they have been. But Chile might have to make a choice here. And Jean de Rin does come in, probably to handle those really difficult LN sections. But now the question is, can Jean de Rin push through those really nasty Rice spikes at 1100 and 1200 combo?
Yeah, that's going to be the biggest portion. If Jean can combo through that, I think this is Chile's pick. This is Chile's point if Jean can do that. If not, if there's a miss in that section from Chile's side, even if it's not from Jean, we're going to see a China victory on this. This is a very, very risky pick.
I love that the tournament meta has gotten so rich that you have your players who you can kind of see as your IGLs, your in-game team leaders, and then you've got these players who are super strong. And then you have these players who are support, for these particular picks. Because obviously we know Kanochi and Urusai are going to be in for a good majority of anything involving Rice, but we need Jeon to kind of just round everything out here.
Right. You have these team compositions have gotten so deep, especially when it comes to the top 32 teams, that you have good play. You will usually have your number 1 player on the team or whatever, but then you'll have a set of 5 supporting players who all have their place in the team and can do what they need to do to win matches. And we're seeing that with almost every single team.
Oh my gosh, song number 10. Could we be seeing a second tiebreaker in this block? Time is going to tell. 2 minutes and 13 seconds worth of Etude, determining whether or not China can get their 5th point and force Sound Chimera.
It's looking like China's doing a good job so far. This intro favoring them overall, with Jan being at that 99.4% right now.
And it's going to be very important to see these teams hold that combo through the upcoming LN sections. These are arguably, the most difficult parts for a good majority of the players. Even some LN players finding some difficulties in these sections.
Uh-oh. Kanochi?
Yeah, might be an issue. Not sure if that's within reset time.
It's before the 25% mark. I don't know if it's within the 30-second mark.
I'm not entirely sure.
This may be within abort time limits. Oh, looks like they're back.
Okay, and that drop is probably as a result of trying to reset. There's some connectivity issues going on.
Yeah, that looks like a client issue. We might have some issues with this. There's the reset. Kanochi's back, but we're going to have a little bit of a hard time. It does look like China has a pretty significant lead in accuracy, I think, still.
Yeah, Jeondae Rin struggling to keep above 99 there, having a lot of trouble in the right spike. No misses by any of the players.
Even Urusai is below all of China's team members.
And this pick looking to be a really good pick from China, doing way better than I expected in comparison to Chile. That's the more important part.
Yeah, and Kanochi in that earlier section, we're a bit past it, but dropped down to 99.85, which is significantly lower than anything else we've seen from them. And I think that's going to give China a very good advantage coming into this ending.
And I suspect China having probably along the lines of a 10,000 point lead once we accommodate for the desynchronization.
Yeah, something like that. And it looks like they're not missing. We're getting into the ending.
Whoa.
I've never seen that happen.
Neither have I. I have no idea what that is. Oh, no. I just checked the MP link. I'm hoping that's not right.
Well, the MP link has already given the answer. I already know what's happened. Well, and given that we're probably resetting, I'm just going to say it now. China did win that pick. China won.
Yeah. All things considered, it wouldn't have mattered anyway.
Muka didn't DC. All of the scores submitted.
Oh, okay, cool. I see it now. Yeah.
Yeah, all the scores submitted. China did win that fully. So we are going to another tiebreaker. Let's go!
Yet another match being decided on the 11th song of play there. Worth noting, Kanochi with 128 300s on A2 to single 200. All 6 players actually full comboing that pick.
Yeah, that's a really insane 6-way score on that map. E2 is not easy to keep combo on.
And once again, just the Chinese team just showing how incredibly balanced their roster is. 500s, 5 200s by Sunny. 5 200s by Lucifer, 6 200s by Kaisium, all full comboing. 2 players, low 300s, 300 count, and then Sunny with 260. This is just a solid squad.
Yeah, very, very solid. 990, 989, 988. I said before, China has always been extremely consistent within themselves. Always. And that is something you can count on them for.
Yeah, their performances today have been very, very good, and they've needed to. Chile has put up a great fight, and as we could, as we are arriving at this 11th song here, it's anything can happen.
Yeah, a Sound Chimera play 2 matches in a row. I just have this power. This happened in Soft 5 as well. I think what happened in Soft 5 is in round of 32, there were the first 11 matches that went 5-1, 5-2, and then the last 5 matches I started commentating. And all of them went to tiebreaker. This is just what happens. Anytime I commentate, my map gets played. That's how this works.
I like it.
I force the tiebreaker on everyone. No mercy to anyone. Sound Chimera, good luck.
No one escapes, and we get to see it again. Song number 11 to determine who is going to be moving on in this tournament.
And here we go. Urusai, Kanochi, and Rise, the A team for Chile. Lucifer, Kaisium, Sunny, the A team for China, coming in for the tiebreaker. This is going to be exciting.
Oh, man. What can we even say at this point?
I'm excited. I'm so interested to see how these players play, because I know that some of these guys are going to demolish this chart. But at the same time, there's lots of places that mess-ups can happen. China and Chile, tiebreaker, anyone's game right now. No misses on that early burst. We're seeing the first minute looking pretty tame in terms of the combo bonus. Everyone's going to be able to get to 400 before any of the difficult stuff starts coming out.
And once more, we just get to hear that ominous build-up before it all happens.
This is such a... I love this song as a tiebreaker just because you get so much time to anticipate what's going to happen. And then everything falls down on the players.
Yeah, all hell breaks loose after this opening, and you get just a dose of everything. 5-5, China, Chile, and here we go.
Intensity builds up, the speed streams start happening. China has a small accuracy lead right now. 99.8% per piece. No misses thus far. Long notes are going to be the interesting part because I think Chile is going to find some issues. Urusai and Rice in particular might find some problems here.
This section gets going there. Rice and Urusai finding a little bit of deduction. Urusai's score is falling. Rice with the drop. And China's going to extend their lead in this section.
Yeah, here we go. We're about to get out of this as well. China's going to have about a 5,000 point lead coming out of it. But this Rice section is going to favor Chile. And Rice is back up to that 400 combo mark. So that accuracy advantage that comes from this is going to give Chile a bit of an ability to come back here after this second long note section.
Gotta hang on as much as they can. Rice, of course, getting back to that combo cap. Urusai finding a drop. Three-way full combo for China, and that score lead is going to continue to extend.
And another miss from Urusai is going to give a bit of a lead to China. Rice section coming up should be comfortable for all of Chile. Rise with another miss, though. Kaisium trades it back. Kaisium with another miss.
2 FCs remaining on China. Sunny's accuracy not as... it wasn't as good as it was expected to be, but now they've rounded out 99.6 midway through. China having a solid unit score once more. Kaisium finding another drop, but all of these drops happening in such close sequence that it's not going to do a huge amount to their score.
Right. 14,000 points of difference. This Jack section should give none of the Chilean players issues. This should be their bread and butter. Ability to get that accuracy back up, keep the combo. We're all looking at China right now. They have the lead. They have the ability to miss in this section. We're going to be watching them.
2 players crossing the 3,000 combo threshold as the core jacks intensify just a little bit.
2 full combos still on the side of China. This is a bit of a break section, especially for players on the Chilean side. But that 2-1 is going to be very favorable for China if they're able to keep their combos. We do still have one more long note section, one more techie long note section before we get into the right section where Kaisian missed before. But that lead looks like it's shrinking just a little bit at a time. We're looking at about 12,000 to 10,000 points of difference now in this section. Accuracy giving Chile a very strong ability to come back here.
Pristine ability between Kanochi and Urusai to really provide that strong ratio is closing that gap a little bit, but we're going to have a return to these difficult long notes, and Chile's going to have to hang on in order to have any shot at taking this back. Again, China with 2 full combos, getting very close to the 4,000 combo threshold.
Tough part to keep combo on here. I could almost see I think accuracy drops are more likely in this section than combo breaks, but combo breaks can still happen. Mid-age X are hard to keep coordination going here. Sunny with the miss right there. Chile going to try to take advantage here, especially coming up to this Rice section at the end.
We saw Kaisium having a lot of trouble at this Rice section early on. This could be Chile's time to shine.
It really could. This is huge. We're seeing about 15,000 points of difference. That's going to reduce with that miss from Sunny. That's not a real miss from Kanochi.
We're going to wait for everything to reset here. Oh my goodness.
Oh, internet issues.
Connectivity.
Oh, Lucifer's going. Oh no, we don't know what's happening. Combo resets from everyone.
All right, we're gonna have to. This is gonna be a funky ending here.
It sure is. But all the combos reset back. Sunny having that 200. It looks like Kaisium might have. Oh no, that reset just then. Kaisium actually does. But does make it through that last section without dropping combo. Their lead is staying intact, and this line-out section should be safe for them. It looks like China might be able to take this pick home.
Sunny finding that reset, continuing to go. Udasai finding a drop at the end of the map, and that's going to do it. China is going to take this win 6-5.
6-5. We saw the Team Red take the win twice in a row on the tiebreaker. Philippines and China both moving on the winner's bracket. Both of these teams from the winner's bracket as well. So none of the 4 teams we just saw play got eliminated. Chile and Canada both getting knocked down into the loser's bracket, starting for the quarterfinals. Insane matches we just saw in that block. Oh my God.
And if that's anything to look forward to, these teams coming down to the loser's bracket, if you're in the winner's bracket now, you sure as hell don't want to fall down to it, because all of the teams in this block have put up a more than formidable fight.
Yeah, these 2 matches by themselves should tell you these quarterfinals and beyond is going to be a very difficult time for anyone involved.
Yeah, winners or losers, you're going to be in it.
Bracket.
Yeah, higher stakes matchup, tournament life actually mattering. But with that, congratulations to China for taking a 6-5 victory. Again,
Indeed.
taking all 11 songs to do the job. A hard-fought battle once more, and they move on to the quarterfinals.
That guarantees them top 12. Top 12 for China. And they move on to face the winner between Brazil and Indonesia happening later on today. And Chile moves down to the loser's bracket to face a team between Belgium and Peru in the loser's bracket. Whoever wins that match, again, happening later in the day. But with that is going to end this block of matches. We're going to see our next match, Vietnam versus Hong Kong, in about 4 to 5 hours from now. I think 4 hours is pretty safe to say. At 8 o'clock UTC. Make sure to come back for that match. Do you have anything else to say about what has happened here?
Oh my gosh, these matches are just a sign of what's to come. I mean, look at the teams who are here. There's still potential for more really close matches. I mean, the next 2 could be pretty intense in their own right.
Yeah, I'm excited for Vietnam and Hong Kong and Malaysia, Japan. Those are going to be very interesting fights. Not to mention that, like, pretty much the entire set of matches in this round of 16, especially after, the split between round of 32 after putting the top and the low seeds into winners and losers bracket, respectively. Pushing those matches to be as close as possible. This tournament has been so exciting already.
Yeah, for sure.
With that being said, this is going to be the end of the stream, but before you go, make sure that you support your favorite teams with banners from the Osu store. We got top 30, any team in the top 32 you can buy a banner for, even if they're already knocked out. Support your favorite team, support the tournaments, support the prize pool. We will appreciate everything you do. I hope that you guys help us out. And if you predict the winner of the tournament through your profile banner, you get to keep it for even longer. What an incentive.
Get to flaunt around the fact that you picked the right team. You knew in your heart of hearts who was going to win.
Yeah, you knew that Brazil was going to win last year. You knew, so you got to keep that banner. But yeah, that's going to be it for us. Do you have anything else to say, Halogen?
Nothing other than come back in 4 hours.
Yeah, seriously. Come back in 4 hours. Watch Vietnam versus Hong Kong. We got a nice long block, 3 matches. Taiwan and Australia not to be excluded from that list. Make sure to come back, support your teams, and support the stream by showing up and watching your favorite teams compete. See you guys later.
Take care.
On the surface, a disgusting swarm in the skies. With a crash of thunder, a new demon appears. Unfurling its rotten wings, it lets out a petrifying scream.